Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I've been working on this Mustang off and on, and it's kind of bounced around on my desk a little bit here. But this is a build from 2018 is when I actually started it, and I've shown it a couple of times in the past, and didn't seem like it got all that much excitement, but it's one that is exciting to me. And with Mustang's 60th anniversary, just passing, I've been itching to work on some other Mustangs as well. So I've got a few of them going, and this was one of them that I had in the background. Now, to get up on the start of this specific one, this is a GTA. And Replicas of Miniatures of Maryland has a resin kit that I have been wanting. And for the longest time, I don't know if it's back available. But back then, I was asking Norm about it and if it was available because I'd like to order one. But I was told that he still had all of the masters. The molds were bad, or some of the molds were bad, and that he could make new molds and eventually get the kit out again. But it wasn't high on his priority list, so it may be a while. So I'm like, okay, been hoping and hoping and watching eBay, and every now and then something might come up. Well, this actually came up. I'll put some pictures up there. Somebody had built one using his conversion kit, and I was just looking, and it wasn't advertised as what it was. It was just AMT 67 Mustang, but I noticed the hood right away, and I think, was this a vintage kit? And I looked at the pictures closely, and then I realized it's actually the resin kit conversion, because it had that ribbed tail panel. So I'm like, all right. So I bid on it, and nobody was really going for it, and I won. So I was really happy with it. And what I got, and pictures will be up here, was a really nicely built GTA. And it had the hood I wanted, had the rear tail panel I wanted. A lot of the rest of his resin parts were on there. Plus, it was converted to a big block and an automatic. So the guy did some nice work. I mean, here's the console, but it's literally the kit's console. But he had the automatic shifter. So here's the automatic shifter. So I was like, okay, cool. And I'm not 100% sure where this came from. I got maybe an idea, but because it may have come from the same kit that this big block came from. So I pulled the big block and pulled all the parts apart, went through it, and saw how it was done. So it was done really nicely. So I'm like, oh, this ought to be a really easy conversion. Just redo it in the colors that I want. And so I pulled all of this apart, and since I recognize this, I'm like, oh, I know where the donor kit is, and I get it. That's from the 67 Fairlane GTA, which comes with a manual or automatic, so you can make it as a GT or a GTA. But this has the C6, and it also has the really nice powered by Ford valve covers, which if I turn over, powered by Ford, which these will be chromed. I'll probably bare metal foil them. And most of that stuff, but it had an oval air cleaner on it. So I went looking through my parts box, and I got this air cleaner for it, which this is from the 70 Boss 302. I may have had it chromed. I don't remember. I think that one might be chromed, but I'm deciding if I'm going to keep the snorkel tube on it or not, because most did not have it, some did, and I don't have the hose that goes to exhaust manifold. So I'm kind of looking over specifically what I want to do and how I want to build it. But when it came to the body, and eventually a full kit of his Replica of the Miniatures kit popped up on eBay. So here's a picture of it and the kit contents. So you can see what it actually has. So I did get one, so now I have a spare and I can build one. But I had already started this one. And some of the things I had to do is, I stripped the paint off the body. It came off really nice. I was worried about some of the resin parts and whatnot. But it didn't look like he used Norm's front end. He just used the stock front end. I did drill the headlights out bigger though, because I want to use the 67 Shelby kit has nicer, more proportioned headlights. So I drilled them out so I can use those instead of the smaller ones that the 67 kit came with. So, and just cleaned up the bodywork on the nose. The rocker moldings were glued on kind of funny. And I ended up trying to redo them, so I removed them and made new ones out of styrene. So that's what these are. His gills are right here, which fit the body better. So got those cleaned up as far as the bodywork goes. and just did some of the body work. Now the tail panel, the trunk lid is his with the Mustang lettering and the ribbed tail panel. My only real gripe with that is the T is not lined up with the body line right there. So the T in Mustang is just in a bad spot, and it doesn't line up with the lock cylinder like it should. But I decided I wasn't going to do anything with that. Kind of left it alone. Maybe I'll fix that with the next one. So then recently in one of my videos I showed some of my progress. I shot this thing vintage burgundy, which is a color I pretty much like on this. Although I think a real one I would like to have blue, you know, if I did a real one. But I really like this color, and I wanted to do this one in this color with the white GTA stripes. With these decals are from Fred Katie. And then after I did that, I got to clear coat it. So, and then here's the hood. And it's got decals right there for the vents and turn signals, which are also in the Keith Marks decals, which has a lot of decals to it. And it's got the raised Ford letters, which I'll have to foil those, and the chrome here. Painted the underside of the hood the body color as well, but didn't clear coat it, which on the 67 Mustangs this would be body color. So that's all painted. And then I decided I wanted to do the white interior. So that's actually what I focused on this weekend, was taking care of this stuff. So painted all of the white, painted the bottom of the dash white, clipped the manual clutch pedal, and put photo etched automatic and gas pedal on there. So that's what those are, although they got paint on them right now. But the bottom of this is painted white. The rest of this is going to be the stainless chrome, and then the top dash pad is black. So this will be black. So I'll end up detailing all of this. But since the carpet's going to be black, I brush painted the carpet because I didn't paint that because I wasn't sure what color. As early on, I was thinking maybe I'll do blue on blue again because I like that color combo. But then when I decided on vintage burgundy, I'm like, well, maybe I'll do red interior, white interior, maybe even a black interior. But I decided I was going to do the white parchment interior. So brush painted all of that black because the carpet I hadn't done. Painted this piece black, which is the seat, and was just working on the interior. So lots of detail here. So while I was working on that, I masked all around the windows, trying to keep the overspray from getting on here, and I airbrushed the inside of the headliner all white. Comes out better when I airbrush it versus brush painting it, but most of the time you can't see it. But on this one you kind of can, but these pillars will hide it. But I used the same white paint on here. So I did all that. So after doing all of that, I pulled all the masking off, and any of the overspray that got in here, it'll polish out the clear coat, which I did. So I polished it off the clear coat. I still need to bare metal foil it all. And then I went ahead and blacked out the rest of the inside of the body. So all the rest of that got blacked out the inner fenders. I started to paint the washer bag red. And then I still need to paint the rest of the engine compartment the semi-gloss black. So I've got that still to do. And I'm going to work on all of that and get that ready and bare metal foil it. And then this ribbed tail panel, that's going to be painted in the steel, the flat steel color, because it's like a cast aluminum actually. And I have some aluminum paint, but I think this steel looks a little bit better, a little bit darker, and I like how that looks. But I'll get it foiled as far as the letters and the trim around here, and then foil the rockers. And then trying to remember if I'm going to have wheel opening moldings on this one or not. They're really hard to do on this particular body because there's very little to it. But I still got some cleanup to do to this, but it's coming out really nice. And I got to black out the grill and do the chrome wraparound in it and some of the other GT parts. But I'm liking the way this one's coming out, and you know, the seats and stuff. Put some foil on that medallion right there in the middle, and of course the hoop that goes up and around the back of the seat back. So lots of detail and lots of little things I need to do. You know, some of these other parts I pulled off here. Figure out the air cleaner, foil the valve covers, paint the exhaust, and get some of this together. So it's going to come together really nicely. But I'm just kind of playing with it off in the background and enjoying it. You know, I got a couple of Mustangs going on. I showed you the other one as well. Snuck in videos here and there. But while I'm working on these 3 Mustangs, I figured I would show you this one and where it's at, because it's looking really good. And so you guys can see what's going on and share with you. some of the progress on this is I'm going to keep working on it. But I got some more work to do, some more stuff to do. Oh, and I did get some Model Haas tires because I want to do white line. So I got a couple of choices here, 324s and 332s. So I'll see which ones fit the body and the wheels better. As one's a little thicker than the other. I like this one, but this one's a little thinner. But we'll see which one fits when I get closer to that point of it. But anyway, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. And let me know what you think about this one. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.